BRB Blazer.
He's the only running back that got drafted in the first round.
Yep.
LSU
He barely got drafted.
running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire goes to the Chiefs. Probably the dream scenario.
Oops.
Hello over there, Randy Reid, and your
No,
mustache.
like I said, T, we know that's your boy. I mean, he is a man, but you were high on him.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's kind of interesting. Me and Dre were off there. We're just talking downstairs, and you said that you wanted to tell him what you told me about.
Oh yeah. Andy Reid actually called Mahomes and was like, "Who do you want us to take?" And he was like, "CEH," and he's like, "Done." And they took him. You can go and actually look it up. It's on the Chiefs, whatever their like football pages, like their beat writer. They put it up there. I want to say today, maybe yesterday, but you can go look it up. How they legit just asked him what he wanted, and that's what they did. And then they said it was him, Mahomes, Andy Reid, and then Hunt. I guess a GM. He was like all in on the call when they called him.
Mahunt.
And they let him know. they let him know. They let him know that that Mahomes picked him, and he was like, "Cool, man, I'm
He's
ready
like,
to go."
"Oh,
Yeah,
I love
I
being
think that. I
picked-
mean, that says a lot that about him. Like you were saying, T. They care enough about Mahomes to be like, "All right, what do you want? Like, whatever you want." And he's like, "All right, we'll do it. Forget it."
I mean, yeah, if your MVP superstar quarterback says, "Hey, I want this guy," you know, there's obviously a reason you go out and get him. So, I mean, I know they have Damian Williams there. They even signed, was it DeAndre Washington? It's like a 1-year deal. I'm not really worried about that. Darwin Thompson, the Clownslers guy. I'm not worried about him. Yeah, he's one of my favorite, you know, rookies coming into the league. You know, guy who can run the ball, catch the ball. 55 receptions last year, was second in the nation. So, you know, he's a mismatch nightmare for these linebackers. I mean, if you have like McCole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, and then that Kelsey just kind of stretching the field, and then you have Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the backer coming out of the backfield. It's just, you can literally just dump it off to him, and he, you know, seeing these highlights right here, he's a quick, shifty guy, and he's also tough to tackle. Not the biggest guy in the world, but you know, just one thing I would say is he's like an MJD 2.0.
No, 100%. I was, you know, reading up on some stuff. Pro Fantasy or Pro Football Focus said he received one of the highest receiving grades from a running back since McCaffrey, which I mean is obviously what we were talking about. Is his upside with the Chiefs? I mean, his receiving game. They're saying just his route tree is just so much more advanced than the rest of the guys. Even Swift, who is good, but he's just, you know, just a little bit better. You know, not head and shoulders above everyone else, but he is just a little bit more advanced. And then I looked up some stats. So going back to 2004 when Andy Reid took over for the Eagles, which is when he got Westbrook. Westbrook's 5 years as a fantasy running back, half-point PPR, he was 4, 7, 4, 1, and 1. So never out of the top 8. Another crazy stat I found was since 2004, Andy Reid has had 12 RB1s, and out of those 12, 8 of them have been in the top 8 finishes at RB, and half of those guys have gotten at least 11 touchdowns. So, I mean, it's just production, and I don't think he's been in an offense. Andy Reid has been in an offense that's been this explosive. So, I mean, the arrows are pointing up just based off, you know, Andy Reid's history of how he uses a running back. So, yeah, I probably won't get him.
What do you think? You think that having Damian Williams there, like, what's your thoughts on like him and Damian Williams there? Because obviously Damian Williams isn't going away anytime soon, so you're probably looking at a running back by committee. I mean, what do you like viewing these guys like RB2s then?
What do you think, Mac?
I don't know. I'm thinking about. I've been kind of thinking about his situation because he might actually get to a price where I might not get him because he might end up going too high for me. Damian Williams is still there. One thing I don't like that I see about him is he's constantly, even before this, he's getting chased down by defenders. I just think he lacks that second burst in the open field. And some of these are college guys. You get to NFL guys, they're all top speed.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I'm seeing that. And then there's the rookie thing where I was doing a lot of details into today is like he was a first-round pick, but we can get into some of these guys in second and third rounders where it plays more of a role. I didn't get to finish my research, but you know, these guys just don't come out the gate and they don't get gifted, you know, a workhorse role unless there's no one there, generally speaking. You know, I mean, I never shot Penny got hurt, but even in his case 2 years ago, he was a first-round pick, didn't get the workhorse role. Sony Michel didn't get the workhorse role. So even though he's a first-round pick, if they have another quality back, they're not just given right out the gate. All right, you're getting the load. So a little concerned with that to some extent. So I don't know where his ADP is going to be. And that's where it's going to get a little tricky depending upon that. But the upsides there, like Andre said, Andy Reid always carries a top 12 back. Pretty much when he has a guy, he pretty much basically has a top 12 back. So there is the upside in there. So it's going to come a little bit with a risk reward type of thing. And do I want to take the risk at his draft price or do I not?
Yeah, so I actually looked ADP. I guess I didn't say it, but just to go on with what you're saying, 26.4 right now is where is his ADP.
So he's going like the third round.
So yeah, early third is his.
And that's early, so it could even be higher as soon as once we get closer to season.
Yeah, for sure.
All it takes is one preseason game where
Yeah.
he
for
has
sure.
a good preseason. Now he's going in the second round.
Yeah. I mean, you saw David Montgomery going in the third.
Yeah.
And he's more highly drafted on a better offense, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's early second.
For sure.
Potentially with some people buying into the Chiefs offense.
And and everybody does, right?
Yeah, and you can't fault anyone for that.
And
sure.
they gave Damian Williams $60 million just after the Super Bowl. He got an extension, so they just paid him. Or didn't he get? Or 40
$60 million.
Or
That's
no,
Christian.
yeah, I'm tripping at 60. Yeah,
I was
you're
gonna
right.
say,
Maybe
he's not
16.
He's not Christian McCaffrey, dog.
Yeah,
Chill.
I don't know why I said 60. Well, he just got an extension though after the Super. I mean, he balled though. He had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, but so I don't see him going away. But they did pay him a little. But when Mahomes picks you, it's like.
Yeah, it means something for
And
sure.
the other thing is, do you think he's the goal line back at 5'7", 209? I mean, I know he's small. Damian
Probably
Williams is a
not.
bigger back, so
Yeah.
it's there's that too. I know the Chiefs are one of the better. They're probably gonna lead the league in scoring, or at least top 3. So you do have that, but. I mean, if he's not the goal line back and you're taking him in the second round, that's not what you want to see.
Yeah.
You get into some of these guys, is like, if you're in second, third, you have like a Josh Jacobs, he's the goal line back. Some of these other guys, they're the goal line backs versus we don't know in this scenario.
For sure.
So just kind of something to think about. Super early, we still don't know. Like it's not even training camp if there is training camp, but
Yeah,
we don't even know yet. That's
true,
where it's
yeah.
gonna make this shit tricky if there's like barely any training camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think it hurts the rookies the most, right? Because you can't outperform the guys that are ahead of you,
Yeah.
so they can't take a look. So
Who was it Jamal Charles was there before Kareem Hunt?
Spencer
Yeah.
Ware too,
Spencer
right?
Ware.
Well, yeah,
that's
and-
right.
And Jamal Charles.
So, I mean, but Spencer Ware was actually signed. I think he just had an injury the year Kareem Hunt came in, and Kareem
Yeah,
Hunt
he got
kinda
hurt.
took over. I think Spencer Ware is a better back than Damian Williams, arguably.
Well, I mean, if you actually go back and look at the numbers, it was like a product of just the offense, because Spencer Ware was balling also, even before Kareem Hunt got hurt the year before. So
Yeah, but even then, I mean, Kareem Hunt was like they loved him. I know he wasn't a first round pick, but Andy Reid wanted him specifically, and he wasn't going to be the starter. He was only the starter because Kareem Hunt or
Spencer
Ware just destroyed his knee. So that's the only reason he got the starter. It's real, like I said, it's a first round pick, so it could be a little different. But even then, you still have to win the job. The coaching staff still has to trust you.
I don't think that it's true. Remember the first game they played the Patriots and they won, and Kareem Hunt fumbled the ball in his first opening.
Yeah, but I'm
play.
saying that's because Spencer Ware was gone.
yeah, he got hurt in training camp.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying in the first game. I was like, okay. Yeah.
No, he got hurt in preseason. I don't even know. It might have been
forgot what
before
happened.
preseason
Yeah,
games. I
something
just know
happened
he
to
like tore his ACL or something like that.
Yeah, his knee went all explodey.
He got
He said. All right. I mean, but yeah.
So we jump into the next guy. I mean, it's Clyde Edwards. It's good player on a good offense, so it's a good situation right there. I mean, kind of one of the better landing spots for, like Anthony said, it's going to be a top 3 offense most likely.